Welcome to the Donley Auctions Hour, where history meets the highest bidder. Hi, I'm Susan.
And I'm Randy Donley. Each Saturday at 7 p.m., we're here to bring you the thrill of the auction, the behind-the-scenes scoop, and everything in between.
We've got some amazing stories behind our treasures and even some crazy tales you would not believe. We'll even share some insider tips for both buyers and consigners.
So whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting on your journey, get ready for a wild ride through the world of auctions. So, Susan.
Hi, Randy.
Here we are.
It's been a crazy week.
Yes, it has.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, I do want to mention to everybody out there, too, that Mike is in the studio with us today, Mike Donley.
Hey, Mike Donley.
So there's three of us here talking about the weekend, and boy.
Just a little bit about our auction world. I don't think a lot of people understand what it is we're doing and what happens in a week. For example, just this week alone, we had an online-only auction and a live auction. Let's talk about it.
Okay. Again, yeah, one of the easiest ways to learn more about Donley Auctions is to go to the website. That's Donley Auctions, D-O-N-L-E-Y, auctions with an S, donleyauctions.com. And you can learn more about us. But as you said, Susan, 2 auctions this weekend, starting with that online auction with razors.
Straight razors.
Straight razors
Yeah.
that every barber shop in the world was asking us about, it seemed.
Now, Mike, what was the price range of razors, straight razors?
They went anywhere from $10 up to, I think, $2,200 was the top line.
$2,200 for a single razor.
For a single razor.
So what do you know about that one that sold for $2,200? Do you know where it went?
I'm sure it was probably a Wade and Butcher. Wade and Butcher is the biggest name. They're a very wide body blade on it.
I believe it's going to Italy.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that
That's
was a
another
big
thing.
one.
Our auctions go all over the world. So bidders, when you're selling something, you have a chance to sell it worldwide.
With
Right.
thousands of bidders watching us. So that was online only. We didn't have anybody in-house. That's what that means. It was online. You didn't have to be here in Union, Illinois for the auction. You can bid from the privacy of your own home. So that was Thursday, the razor auction.
There was, 600 razors in there?
Yeah, 600.
Wow.
Wow, yeah, what a nice auction, what a nice collection. But, you know, it's funny because most people always think about an auction being a live process.
Right, they want to come here. Can I come see it? Well, you can come preview it, but you can't bid here. You have to bid it.
But we do one
online.
major auction every month that's actually live here, like our Saturday auction.
Like our Saturday auction, we had how many people here on Saturday?
Quite a few, I don't know.
Yeah, there was well over 100 in the audience.
Over
From
100, yeah.
from all over the Midwest too. People in trucks
Yeah.
and trailers
Yeah.
came out. That was great.
But thousands of people online bidding. So
Right.
now this was an auction that Mike, you were in charge of. This collection of Model A automobiles, Model A Ford automobiles, and parts came right out of Lyons, Illinois.
That's correct, yes. The gentleman had passed away over 10 years ago, and his daughter decided it was time to send it to auction, and we went and picked it up. We did the first, there was 12 cars total. We did the first 6 cars, about 6 months ago?
Mm-hmm.
And then we picked up, she decided to let everything go, and we went and picked up all the parts and all the other 6 cars and brought them up here and got to work on it.
750 lots of parts.
Yeah, and that was, when you think
That's
of it,
huge.
750 lots of parts, and a lot of those lots had 20 and 30 parts in them, so.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was a
That's
lot.
a lot of
It was
moving.
a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of cast iron, a lot of heavy moving.
But you know, we had a lot of very happy comments from customers from that auction too. I'd like to share at some point, but it was a great auction.
Yeah, you know, it's so interesting, Susan, because as you say, the customers were really so happy, both the buyers and of course our seller. But you know, today I got 2 leads on selling more cars because of this auction. One gentleman called us from Indiana, and he's got a load of cars and automobile-related signs, gas and oil signs, and
All right.
all kinds of
That's
goodies.
hot right now.
But he saw the auction online. He loved what he saw. He felt that the auction was run so well that this is where he wants to put his collection.
That's great.
And so that's one thing that this radio show is all about. We're here to let you know what we do so that if you have collections out there, of just about any type of antiques, big collections, we can sell it for you at auction and hopefully get you the absolute top dollar for what we're selling. And we really have a wide range of what we're selling. I mean, automobiles and motorcycles and Petroliana is certainly one of our big featured items here. But coming up in August, I mean,
The big one, another big one coming up in August. But real quick, I just want to ask a question. What do you think identifies how an auction is online only versus online and live? How do you distinguish between the two?
well, I always think it's a price point.
Okay.
You know, when somebody has a large collection of items that we can't do live, it's only really because it's not valuable enough. For example, when you're selling 600 razors, and a lot of them are going to sell in that $5, $10, $20 range, we couldn't possibly afford to be doing that live without putting everything together in large groups. You know, we'd
I
have
see.
to be putting 10 and 15 items together in one lot, selling it that way. And, you know, we can certainly do better for people if we're selling it onesies, one at a time, but that's why we would do it as a online only auction as opposed to a live auction.
Right. So if you do have some items in a huge collection like that, again, send it to us in an email with some photos at consign, CONSIGN, at DonleyAuctions.com. We'd love to see what you have, the photos, where it's located, and then we'll help you determine the best action to take on your collection.
Absolutely.
And another one we do online exclusively is license plates too.
Oh, yeah.
The license
Exclusively
plate
online.
auctions. We'll have another one coming up this fall. So
And why is that, Mike? You know, Susan just said, what determines why we have an online as opposed to a live auction? I've noticed you've run some extremely successful license plate auctions. I mean, right now you hold the world record for the highest price ever paid for a license plate. That's one of your auctions. So, again, why would you operate that as a online only?
well, license plate collecting is a national thing. There's the American License Plate Collectors Association, and if you go up online and look at them, they put out a great publication. It's well worth joining the club, alpca.org. But license plate collectors collect specific to their state. So we'll get collections in here that maybe a guy collected only Illinois, or maybe he collected
Sure.
all across the country and such, or just specific states. So somebody sitting in Kansas isn't going to drive all this way for two
I got you.
plates. So it's just as
So,
easy
so the vast amount of collectors all over the country makes sense to do it online.
online only. It's not worth. I mean, we could have a live one, but it's just we wouldn't have a handful of people to show
And
up.
the
so.
beauty of these collections that we do online only, they're small. The razors are small. The
Right.
license plates are small.
Easy
You
to
throw them
ship,
in an
easy to
envelope.
ship.
They're
Yeah.
good to go. Boom, we're done. You know, some people do want to stop in and pick them up. That's great. But the majority of the people, definitely, we could just ship their stuff so easily.
Even when you look at our coin auctions, most people
Same.
buy them online because
Yeah.
it's small and easy to ship.
You know, I'm glad you brought up the process of shipping it, Susan, because people call us all the time and they want us to sell furniture, which furniture on its own is very hard to sell now. I mean, because frankly, young people aren't buying antique furniture. And
Right. My daughter's moving. She's getting rid of everything and buying new stuff in her new place.
sure.
So she doesn't want all that big, heavy stuff.
So when we're selling furniture, if we were selling furniture, one of the biggest problems we have is, of course, shipping it. Somebody can pay $200 or $300 for maybe a dresser or a bed or some big, large piece of furniture, only to find out that if they had it shipped, it could cost $800
Yeah.
to ship something they only paid $150 or $200 for. It just
not
makes
worth it
no
always.
sense for us to be selling furniture. But just when I say that, Mike, what would be some of the big brands of furniture that we would sell? Some of that really heavily carved.
Yeah, the heavily carved stuff, the Carpent furniture, which was made in Chicago here, Herder Brothers.
Herder Brothers, right?
know,
Big name.
You know,
Arts and crafts furniture,
arts and
things
crafts
like
out
that.
furniture
Okay.
by Craftsman and Stickley and Roy Crofters. Yeah, it's all still really sought after and well worth auctioning. But
Remember that item we had at that auction in Chicago? It was a chair was it a Frank Lloyd Wright chair? What was it? It was a famous architect
Oh
or
yeah,
designer.
just that little stool that you sold.
little stool that we sold. Remember that?
At Architectural Artifacts.
We'll
What
get
was
some
the-
more information on that and put it up
yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
screen. That was a great little piece,
That-
a treasure we found.
Yes, that was a great chair. And again, arts and crafts, Frank Lloyd Wright piece. You do have a large collection of arts and crafts furniture coming up
Correct.
in the future. So stay tuned, folks. Always watch our website, because when you go to the website, we're going to be telling you what's coming up in the future. And I just want to mention arts and crafts. How does it get its name, arts and crafts? That's really a period of time
Correct.
in furniture,
yeah,
isn't it?
that was right at the turn of the century, early 1900s.
1905-ish.
It was a movement like you talk about Victorian or Eastlake style or Art Deco. Arts and crafts was its own movement. And it's very straight lines furniture and usually of oak and mainly comes from the East Coast. A lot of call it mission style too. But
There's exactly. I hear it referred to an awful lot as mission furniture.
correct, because it was like from the old Spanish missions. That's kind of what it was derived from, the look.
And most of it's oak.
Most of it's oak, although they did make some in mahogany, but the most sought after pieces are almost always in oak.
Wow. So again, watch our website, folks, Donley Auctions, Donley. We're going to keep mentioning the spelling of the name just at the beginning of our show. As you know, this is only our third show in, so we need to train you, so to speak, as to how to get a hold of us, let everybody know how to spell our name.
And our phone number. And you know what we need? It's a jingle for our phone number. So I'd like to put this out there. If anybody can come up with an 815-923-7000 jingle, that'll help them remember it.
And Susan will sing it for us, okay?
No, don't make me sing. Don't make me sing. But anyway, let's get back to our August auction, because that's what's coming up. We got through this whole week.
Yeah, we got
2
distracted.
auctions.
We started to
We
talk
had all
about
kinds
auction.
of stuff going on, and our amazing crew of employees are moving everything out and getting everything together and ready for pickups. And there's so much happening here at Donley Auctions.
What a tremendous amount of
And a lot of it has to
work
get
and effort
packed
goes
and
into this.
shipped.
But
we're ready.
August, here
so
we go.
even though that's done, we're still getting ready and setting up for the next auction, August 16th. It's a Saturday, and you know what? You can come out here for coffee and donuts and pizza and beer, because this auction is live and online. So if you can't and you have a soccer game or you're going somewhere, you can still bid with us from the game on your phone.
You know, the Summer Classic is one of my favorites, but I'm a sucker for slot machines. I like anything coin operated. Mike,
That's a good title.
What would some of the items be that are coming up in August that you find interesting?
Oh, well, as far as coin op, we have some really early coin op games. That shock tester.
Yeah.
A shock tester? Does
well,
it work?
I don't
Can we
Electric
try?
shock
Can we
machine.
try it
It's
on
a shock
someone?
machine, but it's kind of it's okay.
Come on, spit it out, Mike.
How do you explain it? I know
Keep
it's
going,
big
Mike.
for one thing.
It's aimed at making men think that if they use this thing, it's going to improve their sexual appeal and
It makes
vitality.
them
What?
virile.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what they want guys to believe. And these came out really in the teens and 20s. Now, today, they'd be known as quack devices,
Quack
really.
devices. Oh yeah, I don't even know if they'd allow them, because it doesn't deliver
I would hope
electrical
not.
shock. You know, I think what we got there too is an early lung tester too. It's not restored, but it's complete. And early coin op lung testers are very sought after.
Well, and that's because the high rate of tuberculosis in this
Right.
country at that time. That's why people were testing their lungs.
Right, and-
So that they'd go into a drugstore, and on the counter there'd be a coin-operated lung tester. You put a coin in, and you blow through a tube, correct? But then the next person to blow through it, there was no sanitation whatsoever
geez.
in
Right.
cleaning this tube or anything. So chances are you could catch tuberculosis from
testing your lungs.
from the lung tester. So
Oh, that's
so
great.
those
Some
didn't
cool stuff coming up in our August
those
auction.
didn't fare very well. But jukeboxes, pinball machines.
That milk
boy,
machine
oh
is
boy.
cool.
The milk
Oh,
machine.
Coin operated milk machine, which would have been in schools or factories. That's really an unusual piece.
And of course, automobiles.
Yeah.
We're going to have cars. The one that stands out right now that we have is the '69 Charger.
And signal green.
Yep.
Is that what it's called?
Signal green, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Interesting. It's a 2-owner car, but I always say this: 2 owners, but 1 family. It went from the mother to the son, and we found this in Chicago, and we'll be selling it to the highest
And I'll
bidder.
be test driving it soon, I hope.
To go with it, too, we have a lot of neon signs. But to go with that Dodge, we got a big neon from Mr. Norm's Grand Spalding Dodge.
Really?
Yeah. It was
Where's that?
It's
in Chicago?
Yeah, it was in Chicago.
Okay.
Mr. Norm's Grand Spalding Dodge. Mr. Norm, his name was Norm Kraus. He, in the 60s, foresaw the muscle cars. And so he was taking Dodges, Dodge Darts and stuff, and putting these huge engines in them. Now, he owned the dealership, but he was building these muscle cars, and it took off so well that he
Wow.
became the largest Dodge dealer in the United States
did not know
with the
that.
largest high-performance cars and parts department in the United States. World famous, Mr. Norm. So we got
that's pretty
so we got
cool.
a really cool sign. So anybody who's from Chicago knows Mr. Norm's from back in the 60s and 70s. I mean, he was it on all the radio stations, all the drag strips he promoted and everything.
Hi, I'm Randy Donley from Donley Auctions in Union, Illinois, and I'm currently looking for old signs of any kind for my August auction. I'm especially looking for old gasoline advertising signs and gas pumps in any condition. Old soda pop and beer signs are also very sought after. I even have buyers for old outdoor neon and porcelain signs that advertise a business. You'd be surprised at how much some of these signs are worth. Even if they're still attached to a building, we can remove them.
But you won't know how much we can sell them for until you send us photos at donleyauctions.com. That's consign at donleyauctions.com, DONLEY, auctions with an S.com, or give us a call at 815-923-7000. That's 815-923-7000.
You know, I was really surprised at the variety of signs coming into this auction. And Susan, you were
I have a couple
talking about a
things.
few of them earlier
Yeah,
today.
I have a couple favorites that I thought I would just throw out there because, again, it's not too late. If you have some interesting advertising pieces for this auction, again, the auction's August 16th. We're online already, so check it out at donleyauctions.com. But back to Petroliana signs. One piece we just put up in the hallway here is the AC spark plug sign.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to find out, well, what does the AC mean? I always thought it meant, something different, but it's really named after Albert Champion,
Okay.
the AC, right?
Oh, I never knew that all these years.
They thought it was alternating current, but it's not. It's after Albert Champion, who was a former champion bicycle racer from France. And he used to ride with William Durant, who was the founder of General Motors.
So his name was Champion,
Yes.
and he happened to be a champion.
He was a champion. Raced in over 100 races, yeah.
But now I thought there was already a company named Champion Spark
So
Plug.
here's what happened. He had a serious crash in his bicycle racing and left him with a shortened leg.
Oh.
So the company Champion that he started shifted gears from, no pun intended, from racing to inventing spark plugs. So they originally co-founded the Champion Spark Plug Company, but after a legal dispute over the use of using his own name, he rebranded his new venture as AC Spark Plug Company in 1922.
Wow. So you're telling me that Champion and AC, which stands for Champion, are 2 different companies.
It was branded and created by the same person,
I'll be
Albert Champion, AC. Talk
I
about
never knew
double
that.
impact. Yep.
All these years.
And they became a division of General Motors in 1909 and later merged with United Delco and AC Delco, which is what they are today.
I'll be darned.
Pretty interesting. But the sign up there is pretty neat. It just
Well,
says
that's a beauty.
Oh, it
AC
is.
Spark. Is it double-sided?
A beauty, hey there.
I think it's double. It's double-sided.
Double-sided die cut, too.
Die cut. Interesting. But anyway, that's a great sign coming up in the auction. But here's my other favorite little fun fact about AC spark plugs. They were used in the Charles Lindbergh's historic transatlantic flight in 1927, which gave them their popularity.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty
Boy,
neat.
look at you with all the info
I did
here.
my
yeah.
homework.
And that it's coming up. That will be lot 1321A and 1321B.
That's right.
Those signs.
What's
It's
the date?
online
August
already now. You
16th.
can look at it now, can't
That's
you?
Right.
correct. But we
Online.
have a ton of Petroliana signs coming up in this auction, which is why I wanted to bring that up. Something as just so innocent as an AC spark plugs sign has so much history behind it. Anything else in Petroliana? I mean, I could talk all day about it, but
Well, I would like to, before you get on the next subject, if you don't mind, I would just like to remind everybody out there, it's not too late to consign, and we've got auctions repeating themselves throughout the course of the year. For example, August repeats itself again in October.
Yes,
we
it
do
does.
similar items. So even if you were not to get in the August auction, but we do have time for you yet right now, call us soon. We'll go right into
right into October.
October,
Yeah.
absolutely. So call us, 815-923-7000.
So you saw that big sign that they put up on the wall the other day. It is 7.5 feet tall. It's 5 feet wide. Are you picturing it? And
am.
it's got a big bear on the front of it. It's Smokey the Bear.
No, Smoky Bear, not the bear.
It's Smokey Bear because
Smokey
they
Bear.
added the word the, when they had a 1952 song that Eddie Arnold sang because they wrote a song about.
So wait a
they
minute.
had to add the word the in there to fit with the rhythm of the music.
So
And I'm not
so
gonna
the
sing it
sign
today.
says Smoky Bear on it.
Yes.
And you can that helps date it as to an earlier sign because it's not Smokey the Bear yet. That's interesting.
I think it's still nationally from the Department of the Interior. I think it's still Smoky Bear.
Wow.
Smokey Bear also has his own zip code. Did you know that?
No.
Smokey Bear has his own zip code, like the White House, the Empire State Building, Dodger Stadium, the CIA, and Smokey the Bear. He fits right into all
Smokey
that.
Bear.
And tell
Yeah.
us, Susan, how did Smoky Bear come about?
So he was inspired by a real bear cub that was rescued from a wildfire in New Mexico in 1950. The cub became the living symbol of the campaign and lived at the National Zoo for 26 years.
So there was a real
There was a real
Smokey
Smokey
Bear.
the Bear, yeah. The original slogan was "Only you can prevent forest fires," and they updated it in 2001 by not capitalizing the word "you," Y-O-U. They just said "Only you can prevent wildfires" to reflect a broader ecosystem.
Wow. But you know, when we were kids, Mike, I remember seeing commercials for that on television. I haven't seen one in years. Do they still run these commercials?
Probably public service, maybe not around here.
I'm
but,
sure they do. It's the longest running public service advertising campaign in U.S. history.
Wow.
Isn't that great?
Wow.
So if you want to hear the song "Smokey the Bear," came out in 1952 by Eddie Arnold.
So there was a real song.
There's a real song, and he was singing to a bunch of Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts about fire prevention.
We'll let you go find that online on your own. We're not going to play it now.
But
So-
my point is, we have the sign. It's huge. It's 7.5 feet tall, 5 feet wide, with big Smokey Bear on the front with
That's
his
a
hat
cool
and everything.
sign.
It's a great
Yeah.
sign. Yeah,
Well,
coming up in August.
There's such a wide variety of signs out there. One of the signs that I really like is from the Nyland Company.
Oh yeah,
They're right from their corporate office.
Nylint, Nylint, Nylint.
Right.
Yeah.
And toy manufacturer. Anybody know where Nyland was?
Rockford.
It was in Rockford. Okay. For some reason, I thought it was a Freeport company, but it's a Rockford, Illinois. And this I wouldn't call it a sign. What would you call that? It's kind of a.
It was a piece of wall art. It
it's
was like all the
eclectic
castings,
wall art.
like
Is
all
it
the
2D?
the rough castings and everything
2D or
that
3D?
they put together in a big collage of toys.
Yeah, definitely go online and look at this piece. It's really interesting. That's one of my favorites. But some of the big, again, Petroliana signs that are coming up are fabulous.
Well, also in the auction, we have a ton of Breweriana signs and advertising pieces. And of course, the biggest thing in that category is that 1970s Schlitz. I have to be very careful how I say it. That Schlitz sign. It's 8 feet wide. It's 8 feet wide, and it has the iconic globe on there. It's got a clock on one side. It's in a crate. It's magnificent. It's in really good shape. It lights up, and I have a whole history about Schlitz, which we can probably talk about in our next segment.
Sounds
so don't
good.
go anywhere.
Sounds good. So what else do we have coming up in August? I mean, I saw we've got carousel horses, some really great carousel pieces, and there's some from a former auction that are being reoffered, but some newer ones, not new as in time span, but some new merchandise coming in for August, some more.
And that's what I love about the Summer Classic. We have so many different categories of items. There's something there that everybody's going to love, and all different price points. So we're going to talk about that next, coming up. Don't
When
go
we come
anywhere.
back.
Brian's going to come in, one of our coin and sports experts, because we will have some coins, some jewelry, and some silver coming up in the next segment. You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour right here every Saturday at 7 p.m. on WLS 890 AM. Don't go anywhere.
During this break, visit our website at DonleyAuctions.com. That's DONLEY, auctions with an S.com.
Welcome back to the Donley Auctions Hour. Thanks for sticking with us during that break. I'm here with Mike and Randy with a special guest in the room, but we want to recap a little bit about what we were just talking in case you're joining us now.
Okay.
Well, we just talked for a half hour straight about consigning items to our upcoming auctions. And I just want to remind guests that if you are looking to sell some items that you might have in your attic or basement or garage, give us a call at 815-923-7000 or send us an email at consign@donleyauctions.com. That's CONSIGN at donleyauctions.com. That's DONLEY auctions with an S.com.
You know, we're always looking for that one great item or great collection. You have to let us know what you have at home, because you'll see by going online, you'll see the type of things that we sell. But we're all, again, this is a treasure hunt for all of us, so we're always looking for more.
Right, and one of the consigners that we know him personally brought in a truckload of Breweriana. I had mentioned in the last half hour or so about that Schlitz sign. It's a 1970s Schlitz sign with the iconic globe, and there's a clock on the side. It is 8 feet wide. But I thought it'd be interesting to give everybody a little history about the Schlitz Company, the beer that made Milwaukee famous.
And this is Schlitz. This isn't like Schlitz Creek, right?
No, that's Schitt's Creek and different show.
Well,
honey.
I wasn't going to say
Different
that,
show.
Susan, but now that you have.
Well, that's the name of the show. But Schlitz made Milwaukee famous, and then they became infamous. So the story, real quick, Joseph Schlitz, he's a German immigrant. He took over a small Milwaukee brewery in the 1850s. You know how he did it?
I don't.
He married the widow of the founder of the company. That's a kind of strategic move for sure. But after the Great Fire, 1871, the Chicago Fire, he shipped barrels and barrels of beer to the devastated city, earning goodwill and the slogan, the beer that made Milwaukee famous. But here's the interesting thing, I think, is they pioneered the use of brown glass bottles. Schlitz did that. And you know why?
Sunlight.
To protect the beer from sunlight from the man who doesn't drink at all. Yes, that's good, Mike. Did you know that? It was an innovation that changed the industry, for
I'll
sure.
be darned. I always thought it was so that people couldn't see how clean the bottles were or were not.
Or what the liquid looked like.
You know, they used to reuse the bottles, did they not?
Oh, yeah. They go through
Sure.
the bottle washing machines and, yeah.
Exactly, because I mean, as kids, we collected bottles.
Return 'em
remember,
for a deposit,
we used to
yeah.
return them for deposit. Do they even do such a thing anymore?
I don't
No,
think
it's
so.
all.
Well, certain
plastic, isn't it?
states
Certain
do.
states do. Michigan does, I think, and
But they
Certain
don't.
states.
They don't reuse
They
plastic.
don't reuse
bottles.
them. No, they just
No.
They
there's a-
recycle the plastic. They remanufacture
and the
it.
cans instead
Yeah.
of the aluminum cans.
But so here's what happened. Here's where Schlitz made their biggest mistake. In the 70s, they tried to cut costs. So you know how you do that? You replace certain ingredients with other things. They replaced malted barley with corn syrup. Ooh, yuck. And they use hop pellets instead of fresh hops. And they switched to high temperature fermentation and added silica gel. to prevent the haze that was in the bottles, and it looked like slimy snot. Gross.
Ew.
Well, okay, Susan. I guess we're not going to get Schlitz to be an
I'm
advertiser
telling you,
on our
these
on our
they're
show.
not around anymore. So the result was a beer that looked like it had a cold, and it tasted
Oh,
terrible
no,
for
come on.
sure. So
Oh, ladies and
they
gentlemen,
also had.
continue to listen to the Donley Auctions
This
Hour.
is what happens when Susan does her
just,
homework.
just don't do it around dinner time.
They launched their notorious ad campaign dubbed "Drink Schlitz or I'll Kill Ya," which they featured tough guy actors threatening anyone who didn't choose Schlitz.
What
They're
year
gonna
was that
kill
at?
'em.
That's awesome.
In the 70s.
Wow.
So you wonder why.
I can't
you,
even imagine this.
you wonder why Schlitz isn't around anymore. So the company was sold to Stroh Brewery, which I always thought it was Stroh's. It's Stroh Brewery in 1982, which then collapsed under the weight of Schlitz's decline.
Wow.
So today, Schlitz is owned by Pabst Brewing Company, and its classic formula has been revived for all you nostalgic drinkers. So the moral of the story is we have some Schlitz signs, some Pabst Brewery signs, and Stroh Brewery signs in our upcoming auction in August.
Oh, when I was in college, PBR, that was it.
That's good stuff.
Everybody
It's not
drank
bad.
up
It's
in
not bad.
Wisconsin. Yeah. So, are we ready to bring our guest in now?
Yeah, because
Absolutely.
we're talking about certain things we have coming up in August, certain things we're still looking for. Again, if you have anything in those categories that you'd like to consign to either our August or October auction, give us a call at 815-923-7000 because Mr. Ryan here is an expert in many things. We're also adding coins, one of his specialties, silver, and some jewelry
Yes.
coming up.
Now, I might point out it's not Mr. Ryan, but actually Ryan Boyle.
Mr. Ryan Boyle. RB, as we call him.
I've been called many names.
But he
so-
had a busy weekend also. He's had a busy weekend also. And I heard you attended some shows on Saturday and Sunday. Tell us about it, because I
Yeah.
know you have this item right here that
Yeah.
you obtained at one of the shows.
I had a really cool weekend. I actually bounced into Kerry Wood, and I'm sure everyone remembers
The Kerry Wood?
Absolutely. 1998 NL Rookie of the Year, two-time All-Star. What I remember him for the most was when he was a rookie at the age of 20, threw a 20 strikeout one-hitter. I actually had the pleasure of coming home and catching that game live, and I will
You
never
did
forget
not.
that. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
back in the day.
I also read that his first pitch, when he got up on the mound, hit the umpire in the mask. That was his first pitch
That
of
was
his
memorable.
first game.
Okay.
Way to go, Kerry.
I believe it. I
Don't
believe
get
it.
him mad at you.
So yeah, I was fortunate to bounce into him, and we kind of chatted about how hot the hobby is, which it's exceedingly hot, and
The hobby of sports collecting.
sports collecting.
Yeah.
Where we were at was very, very busy, and he was actually. I was coming, he was leaving, but he was on his way to actually go throw out the first pitch at the Cubs game on Saturday.
Wow. That's neat.
Okay. And as a side note, he wore Ryan Sandberg's jersey as a tribute to the Rhino, who is not doing very well right now. So all of us in Cubs
sorry to
Nation
hear
are
that.
praying for him.
Yeah.
But no, Kerry Wood's a great individual. I couldn't speak more highly about meeting him. And
Does he
hanging
still
out
live in
with him.
Chicago? Because I read that he's had offers, but he wants to stay in Chicago. Loyalty over money for sure, but he's still here, right?
Yeah, he's in the Chicagoland area.
That's great.
I'm not sure if he's planning on staying there for forever or if he's going to relocate, but
Who
right now
knows?
he's still here.
Okay.
So what do you got new for us in the auction world of sporting memorabilia? Were you able to acquire any great, interesting pieces?
I got some vintage stuff. I have a Mickey Mantle autographed bat that I was able to pick up, a Ted Williams autographed photo, I believe a Ted Williams autographed bat. So items are starting to come in, here and there. What was probably the focal point of what I encountered this weekend was a individual who I had ran into and spoke with a couple shows previously was looking for me, and he consigned a George Washington inaugural button.
As in the George Washington,
yeah.
our first president.
Absolutely. It was made in 1789 by local merchants. There's over 70 variations of the button. This is one of the more sought-after ones with the
This
wreath.
is a button, like something you,
Yeah, like a uniform button.
a uniform button you put on. Okay, where do you wear that?
And on the reverse, it still has the bail attached, which makes it more valuable. It's an AU condition, which would be just under the mid-state designation, which would mean almost uncirculated. I'm seeing that there's 6 to 10 known examples to exist.
Get out of here.
Come on.
That's
Wow.
so far what
Wow.
I've located. So
Oh, that's pretty
We
cool.
like to hear that. If you have one of those 6,
yeah, the other 5.
Yeah, we
call
want
it.
we want a whole shirt full.
923-7000.
want 'em all.
Call me now. I got my phone right here.
So really about what, the size of a dime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is 20 millimeter.
And what does it say on it?
Long live the president. It has, this variety has the laurel with the star, which makes it a more sought after. The consignor mentioned to me that this one is actually in better condition than the one that they were that Nicolas Cage and crew were looking for in the movie National Treasure in 2004. So
That's a great movie.
yeah.
How have,
Get
you
outta
not, how have
here.
you not seen it yet, Ryan? You need to go see that movie. You too, Mike Donley.
So
Great
so
movie.
wait a second. You're saying this is one of the things that was actually in the movie?
It's one of the items that they're looking for to unsolve the mystery.
I'll be darned. Well, you said there's only 6 of them left.
6 of
Or
them.
6 of them known. So
6 to
we
10.
have one. Maybe we could help solve the
Yeah, there
the
you
mystery.
go. They used the prop. We have the real deal.
Wow! Wow!
Excellent.
Wow!
I'm going to go watch it again. We'll watch National
Well,
Treasure.
It'd be my homework.
Nicholas, if you're listening out there and you would like to buy this for your own a collection, again, you used a prop. We have the real one here at Donley Auctions.
Call
So,
me. I got my own phone number, 815
Oh, there's
482 0970. Thanks,
Okay.
Nick.
Susan, tell everybody what the easiest way to get a hold of Ryan
Oh, yeah.
is.
If you want to talk to Ryan, he knows a lot about a lot of things. Consign at donleyauctions.com is our email. CONSIGN at Donley, DONLEY, auctions with an S. .com.
And Ryan, your 3 fields are?
Well, primarily would be sports memorabilia,
Yes.
which I feel I've been collecting for 40 years plus. Professionally, I worked at one of the Chicagoland's more premier coin/pawn stores. So coins would be close number 2, and then 3 would be antique and vintage toys, and coupled with gold and silver, I also know watches, jewelry, gemstones, anything that a pawn shop would encounter.
And you just mentioned watches, gold watches. We do have a collection of how many? Is it 100?
I believe so.
100 gold watches that are real gold, 14, 18 karat gold cases.
yeah. Oh,
So,
yeah.
I mean, that's some serious,
Just in weight alone.
serious gold that's going to be coming up in one of our auctions. Do you have any idea how far out we're going to hold that? So we've
Maybe
got to,
October.
I'm saying
folks,
October for that, too.
we've got so much work, to get the values right, because the works have to be taken out of the watches. The gold cases have to be weighed and tested. There's a tremendous amount of work in it, but boy, that's going to be a nice payday for the consigner.
It'll be fun too. That is the material that I enjoy dealing with. Watches are another close, probably in my top 5 that I enjoy dealing with, and designer items too.
The other
Van
day,
Cleef.
somebody was telling me, and you confirm it or not, that most gold watches today, I mean, most of them on average, are worth more as scrap gold than they are as the actual watch.
Yes, unfortunately. I mean, unless you have a premier movement. Gold is a beast that is just not stopping. And that's kind of like what you're getting at with evaluating these things. From now until October, there could be dramatic movement. And I'm thinking it's going to go up.
Oh, without a doubt. The trend sure tells us that it's just going to continue to skyrocket.
Keep rolling.
Yeah.
Gold is a train that you do not want to get in front of right now.
And this is one of the things that I want to tell our listening audience about too, is the service we provide for you. When you're working for somebody at a shop to buy something, you have to buy it as cheaply as you can from that person. You have to give them as little as you can, whereas our side is we're going to get you as much as we can
It's
for
kind
you.
of just the opposite.
Yeah,
Right.
we will get you as much as you can. So when you take it into a store or a shop or somebody that's going to scrap it, their job is to buy it as little as they can, where we are going to get you as much as we can.
Right, and there's so many things people put out in garage sales. No, you put a price tag on something at garage sale. Do you ever get that? Never. They're always looking at half of what the sticker price is, and then half of that.
Yep.
So it just doesn't make sense. There's certain things that are better off at auction.
And if you're not educated in something like watches or jewelry or something like that, you're just guessing. I mean, you have to know. It's your money. Why would you just give that away?
That remark you just made, I use it all the time too, Mike. That you're just playing the best guessing game, and you can't afford to do that. There's just too much money out there.
Exactly, and especially with gold, a little bit of gold goes a long way. I remember when I first started in my career, I started off as just a gold buyer. And one of the first clients that I had came to me and said, "Oh, I'm so glad you guys are popping up. I've been throwing away all of my broken gold all these years." I said, "Where do you live?"
Gold.
Well, but truly, people did that years ago.
Yeah.
If jewelry was broken, they would take it in to the jeweler to get repaired.
Yeah.
And if it cost too much, you're right. They weren't thinking in terms of it back then as scrapping it or anything.
Yeah.
People did just that. They
Throw it
actually
away.
threw it away. And when you talk about throwing away, I'm really going to change the subject here and say that's what you're doing if you turn in your firearms to the police stations. One of the things that we do here is we have firearm auctions, and so many times we hear this, "Oh no, we don't have guns anymore. We turned them all into the police." Well, the police's job, the correct way that the police take care of guns that get turned in, is to have them destroyed.
Correct.
And there's a lot of people that I guess would rather see them destroyed, and that's okay. However, if you would like to get the
Something for it,
value for them, the fair market value, we do gun auctions here, 4 times a year?
At least.
Yeah.
One coming up in September.
And there's a correct way and a wrong way to sell your guns. And you have to come to somebody like us. We're licensed, federally licensed firearms dealers, and we do all the paperwork for you. We ship them correctly if they go out of state. An individual can't take the
lot of
chance.
rules.
That is so right. You do not want to see firearms fall into the wrong hands.
Correct.
I mean, we don't want, and nobody wants to see your firearms in the hands of criminals. And that's why when you're selling guns, you have to make sure that it's done the right way. A company like ours, we have what's called an FFL, Federal Firearms License, so that we can legally sell them for you. And one of the part of the process that we have to do is to get the serial numbers of your firearms in the federal data bank system. And I believe that we're required to do this within about 24 hours.
Correct. Yep.
After receiving the guns, the serial numbers have to be all put into the program and everything. That's all the work that we do for you. We want to make sure that you have the legal process in hand to sell your firearms.
Yes, because if you don't do it correctly and that gun is used in a crime somewhere down the road, they're going to come back to you and
not
say,
good.
"Where's the gun?" "Well, I sold that to somebody." "Who? Where's your paperwork?
Well, no,
Where's your
exactly.
paper trail?"
Mm-hmm. And again, that's all what we do for you when we come in, either whether you bring them to us or we come to your home, which we do all the time, to pick up firearms. We will give you a complete receipt of the firearms with their serial numbers. So anything like that ever happens, you'll have a complete receipt, and it'll always be on record on our computers also, so that you can never be held for doing something improper when you turn your guns over to Donley Auctions for sale. I'm currently looking for old guns and military items for upcoming auctions. Old helmets, uniforms, swords, flags, and daggers from any wars are always sought after, but World War II items of American, German, and Japanese armies are always top seller. If you have old Japanese samurai-type swords that a relative brought back during the war, call me because you could be sitting on a fortune.
But you won't know until you give us a call at 815-923-7000. That's 815-923-7000. Or you can send us photos at consign, C-O-N-S-I-G-N, at donleyauctions.com. That's D-O-N-L-E-Y, auctions with an S.com. Check out our website for more information at donleyauctions.com about our upcoming auctions and a list of items that we need for the future. Just a reminder, our next Guns and Militaria auction is September 20th for firearms. Military relics are on the 21st. Check our website at donleyauctions.com for more information. So, Ryan, back to you. We're going to be putting some coins, jewelry. You said silver? You have some silver you want to put in our August auction as well?
Yeah.
What are we looking at when you're talking silver?
Well,
Coins or-
coins are primarily what I'm referring to, but we also have some. As far as silver, I just did some Tiffany sterling silver jewelry just before the show this morning. When you talk about sterling silver, that's the upper echelon right there.
That's the marking we want.
I love to encounter Tiffany, Van Cleef.
Cartier,
the big names. Well, I get asked often, what performs well at your auctions? And to be frank, the best of the best, the good stuff. What everyone always wants to lay on me is their mids and their lower grade stuff. And while I respect that, what we're looking for is the demand. If the demand is not there, then we can't magically make it appear. So we are looking for items that are in demand, and it's always, higher ticket items.
And it's funny because, the best and the best in any field is always, always saleable, even though some of these markets become depressed. If you have the best of the best, it's always up there with the top dollar, sales.
Especially if you still have the original box and paperwork with jewelry. Watches, too. There's huge differences between what you get from a watch with a box and without. But, no, it's...
That's great to know, Ryan. You're going to be at a couple shows coming up.
Yeah.
So that would be great if we can get people to come to the show, say hi, come meet you, get an autograph from Mr. Ryan himself. Tell us what shows you're going to be at if you have that information. Otherwise, again, just email us at consign@donleyauctions.com. If you have some of those items in demand, we will definitely put you in touch with our expert, Ryan.
This weekend, it looks like Saturday, I will be at the Naperville Sports Card Show, which is hosted by Ridgeline Cards. And Sunday, I will be at the Chicago, this is a big one, the Chicago Toy show in Kane County. That one's going to have over 500 vendors, so it should be a good one to come check out.
Yeah, come see Ryan and tell him you heard him on the radio show.
And if you would like to meet any of us, you can watch our podcast. When you go to donleyauctions.com, press on the tab for the podcast. We have a new episode every Friday. We'd love to see you, and we always want to hear your ideas, too. Tell us what you would like to be hearing about antiques. What is of interest to you, different categories or different types of
Collections,
stories.
different, all kinds of stuff, for sure.
Because we'll make that happen.
one of the things that Ryan, a word he used was Tiffany. And I just want to say, you folks have to tune in next week. We're not going to tell you what it is. But,
a little
but
sneak
we have something.
preview of
There's a teaser.
We have something coming in.
that story that you did tell us is definitely radio worthy. So you got to come back next week to hear that story.
Yes.
That's good. But just as a recap, August auction coming up. If you're not ready yet, that's okay, because we have another classic auction. Those are our big ones. They're usually 2 to 3 days. We have August 16th. Right now it's one day. If you have anything to consign to that, let us know. We'll see if we can get it in. Otherwise, we will hold it for the October auction, which is the 25th. Is that right? Somewhere in that weekend, because we sync up with the Chicagoland Coin Op Show. So definitely check our website at donleyauctions.com for those dates.
And we always need to keep telling you items that we're looking for. You know, Mike's been looking for a bar and back bar. Okay, so always bars and back bars. But one more thing that we really want to ask about is stock tickers. Mike, how many years have we been doing ticker tape machines?
Oh, since we've been little boys, actually, when you
Honest
ran
to
across
goodness.
a pile of them in a warehouse in Chicago.
Years and years ago, back in the late 50s, it might have been 1960, I don't know. My father collected Edison memorabilia. Years and years ago, wanted a ticker tape machine, and we went to a scrap yard where a gentleman had a pile of stock ticker tape machines that was probably 6 foot tall, and anyone that you wanted, you could pick out. They were scrapping the brass out of it. And anyone that you wanted, you could pick out. They were $15 a piece, your choice.
Is that Goodman's?
The Goodman salvage, absolutely. And how many did our father buy?
One.
There you have it. And that's the type of investing we've always been able to do over the years.
And they are now worth thousands and thousands of dollars.
Will we have any in upcoming auctions?
I think we might have. Do we have one in October?
I think we do.
I think we got one
Okay.
coming up
in October. But we need more. So
We need more.
Keep
So
that
how do
in
you do
mind.
that? You call us. If you're not a computer person, that's okay, and you like to talk to us. Plus, you want to see if our voices match what we look like. So check out our podcast. So you can talk to us on the phone. 815-923-7000. Ryan, thanks for being on the show again. Mike, thanks for being here.
So for now,
I'm Ryan.
I'm Susan.
I'm Mike.
and I'm Randy Donley.
And
we'll
we'll
see you at
at
the
the
auction.
auction.